Hey, what's up? Good morning. I wanted to talk to you about the comparison and contrast between using a generative AI like ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Microsoft Copilot versus using a search engine. Because to me, I was thinking about this a few minutes ago, and I'm actually coming into this video without having coalesced my thoughts. Again, I've repeated this, but a theme in my YouTube channel compared to my curated work. When I submit work to Microsoft Press, that's the most sanitized version of me, and it's in a professional context anyway. I post professional stuff on my YouTube channel. In fact, that's where I would actually categorize this video. But nonetheless, I have the freedom to truly be myself. So thinking with you, in a way, is part of my bag, and I hope you enjoy it too. Anyway, I think back to when I was at Cornell in 93, 94, around the birth of the World Wide Web, and I'll never forget going to Mann Library in the morning, as I did just about every morning as an undergrad, to read the physical newspaper. And I went over and saw a computer. Of course, I was attracted to computers even back then. And Cornell was right at the forefront with ARPANET and all of this. So Gopher, Cornell had a pretty rich internal use internet. Although, frankly, at that time, if you were putting something out on HTTP, it was for the world because everybody had public IP addresses, every client device. Getting off track. But since that point, it's been a long time. It's been half my life, I guess, now. More. To have that vast knowledge of the public internet as scraped by Microsoft or Google. And the pattern that I've developed over the years is, I'm sure, similar to your pattern. You have a question, you have a concern, you have a curiosity. Turn to Google. That's been my home search engine almost since the beginning. Is that good? Well, yeah, it's great because Google has scraped the public internet and there's a lot of brilliant knowledge and understanding. Of course, we also have to understand that public internet scrape involves a lot of crapola as well. So it's on us to filter. And that's actually something Gen AI can help with. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But the onus is still on you with Google to search through those search results. Again, I think back when I was a kid looking at the card catalog to look for a book or a subject I was interested in, and then are we using the Dewey Decimal or the Library of Congress? Had to know them both. But you're curating your own experience. I like that. And therefore, in Google, you rely on their search algorithm or their ranking algorithm to give you the highest quality results. But you and I both know that Google's been gamed with search engine optimization scams. I'm sure that continues. And frankly, the whole sponsored links is just advertisements. So there's a lot of crap there, frankly, in my opinion, as if anybody asked. This is where uBlock Origin or another good browser-based ad blocker is critical for web searching to get rid of the sponsored results and to give you as many truly selected results as possible, but yet still, on that, you're probably staying on the first page of the search results from Google, and you're clicking into those pages, either getting distracted and falling down a rabbit hole and losing your original thought, or maybe you've got a great answer there and you can stop, but it's a self-curated experience, and that's not very scalable for a business to do, obviously. I barely consider that approach scalable for me as a single human being. Nowadays, we can turn to ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot. We could use the Bing search engine with generative AI. Actually, Google has Gemini integrated into Google search already. So actually, that's another point that I didn't think of. You see, that's why I like these on-the-spot videos. You've probably noticed, as I have, although it occurs to me maybe you have to be a paid Google Gemini customer to see the integration with Google search engine. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what your experience is. I do pay for Google Gemini Pro, And so when I run a Google search, I get first a synthesized result from the AI and then the traditional listing. Anyway, but I want to talk now about the Gen AI difference. Because I know that the Generative Pre-trained Transformer, or GPT model, that's used by most of what I just said, with the exception of Google. And actually Google, it's all trained on the public World Wide Web. And so you can look at an intelligent chatbot like ChatGPT as an interface to Google, a natural language interface to Google. Well, actually, in the case of ChatGPT, there's always capitalism mixing in too. And I think that's great, by the way, that with ChatGPT, you're going to Bing. And actually, nothing against the Bing search engine. It's still around. It's great. It's got a lot going for it. It's got nice APIs. But like a lot of people, I'm still over on Google. So what kind of parity will I have with a Gen AI that was trained primarily by Google? That's another thing with their, you see what I mean? So there's a lot of questions with this approach, just like there's questions when you're doing a search engine, a traditional Google search. But here's the magic, quote unquote, of Gen AI for me. I asked my question, and in real time, the AI comes back from, most likely, either just satisfying the query from within its own knowledge base, trained on the public internet, its own personal Google index, let's say. Plus, optionally, you could have fine-tuned the AI to make it particularly smart on your work, your life, etc. And lastly, you've got it going out onto the internet, hopefully, to get current information. But it doesn't stop there. The Gen AI filters those results. Who knows how the algorithm works? Unfortunately, these large language models are proprietary, so we don't know. But it might actually do multiple queries and synthesize, doing compute and doing statistics that are totally outside our range of our human brain, to our understanding anyway right now. And so it's doing the curation faster than we could ever do ourselves organically. And ultimately, the result you get back, the completion, is a synthesis, is a generated synthesis, a creation from all of that work that the AI did for you. And on a good day, it's exactly what you want. The issue there, or one issue, it's never the issue, one issue there is that the AI has been programmed, in a sense, not to fail. In other words, with ChatGPT, even though in my custom instructions I explicitly tell the AI, you do not hallucinate. If you're unsure, you tell me, and it seems to ignore those and will always give back something. Now again, it gets complicated and sticky because OpenAI wants to make money. They're monetizing, so they don't want their AI to give the user back nothing. I'm convinced there's a strong capitalist motive, which gets in the way and conflicts with things like responsible AI principles. Let's face it, let's put it right out on the table, And frankly, free and open source software, FOSS. Anyway, at the end of the proverbial day, we have both search engines and Gen AI. That's something that I'd like to really evangelize more. The doomsayers or naysayers, including my daughter, I have to say, she's very anti-Gen AI, I have to tell you. But to those naysayers, I would say, rather than maybe you're looking too binarily, either or. How about both and? How about synthesizing the best of both methods? In fact, I can think of a site that's done that. Perplexity.ai, and no, I'm not a sponsor or endorsee or anything like that. I pay for it myself. Perplexity.ai does that. It's a more hand-holding Google interface that uses Gen AI, and I really like their approach. I used it last night. I find that Perplexity.ai is best for shopping because it'll surface things and questions. Like I'm pursuing candle making now, for example. So I don't even know what I don't know. And it was able to really help me isolate my shopping list, for example. So Gen AI, traditional search, they're inextricably intertwined. It's totally appropriate to talk about them in a synthesis way because they're so completely interdependent. Before my phone escapes, I'll call this done. Thank you. See you.